What is up, gamers? I am Half Asleep, aka Zeke, and in this episode I'm going to be doing my top 10 underrated tips and tricks for GTA Online. These are just going to be the tips and tricks that don't get included in a lot of those lists, and I believe are extremely useful. They just, not looked at a whole lot by a whole lot of people, or don't, some of them you may not know, most of them you probably will know, but I think they're underrated and very useful. So this first one is driving in reverse for star evasion. This one I learned actually because of the old GTA games. In most of the old GTA games, if you drove in reverse, you kind of tricked the police AI a little bit, and they couldn't easily track you. So I just, one day it came to me, I was like, you know what, I'm going to try this out, see if it works in GTA 5. I didn't expect it to, but sure enough it does. It's not an exact science. None of these tips are going to be, but they generally do work pretty well. So it's pretty self-explanatory. All you got to do is drive in reverse, and obviously try not to run into any of the police AI cones of vision. I couldn't get any cops to appear, so I had to throw a sticky at this random car and drive back to this little police station right here, and hopefully get some more cars or some more cops to spawn, so that we can kill one of them and get more stars. It's going to be too easy with 1 star, so I thought if we can get 3 stars by killing a cop, it would be a better demonstration of this tip. So we roll around the side here, and this is actually a vehicle off the street. As you saw, I stole it. I just wanted to show that you can do this trick with a personal vehicle or pretty much any car off the street. I mean, some of the slower ones, like the surf van, might be a little tougher to do, but pretty much any car off the street you can do this with. So the first thing you're going to do here, after getting the stars, you're going to make sure you're not directly inside of the cops. Make sure your mini-map turns gray, and watch those cones on your mini-map. Just make sure to avoid them as well as you can. It's better to do on the surface streets where there's easy turnoffs, and just watch out. And it seems like they can't track you as fast as they normally would. They don't know exactly where you're going. They're still gonna spawn in front of you like they normally do, but as you saw there, you can just kind of cut the corner, turn in a different direction, and voila, no more stars. So pretty easy. With practice it gets a little easier, and it's very effective. I love using that trick. It's a little tough to do in open sessions when there's a jerk chasing you or something, but other than that it works. So this brings us to number 2, which is fast travel friends. Or yeah, a lot of people already know this trick, how to fast travel your friends. But with the new update, there's a little bit of a twist on it. They kind of changed the rules of it a little bit. You used to be able to just find any job that you see, start the job, and invite a friend to it, and then your friend would exit out of the job, and they would appear wherever that job started. Well, in the update, they made it so that if you back out of the job, say you're the one joining, trying to fast travel, if you backed out, it wouldn't work. So they switched it up a little bit. Actually, right here, something happened. I was glad that happened. I ended up joining a job that already had a host and had a few people in there. You don't want that. You want to be the host of the job. So if that happens to you, quickly back out and restart the job, and hopefully you get an empty lobby there for the job. So in the new one, basically it's the same process. You invite your friend to the job wherever you want him to appear. You invite him, he joins, and then you kick him. You go into view join players, and the host has to kick them, and then it ends up working. So here I invited the whole lobby because it was a small lobby, and it wasn't too important to just invite the one. But you probably want to go through the list and specifically invite whoever it is you're looking, to fast travel, because a lot of people do know this trick, and if they see a job, come up across their screen, they're gonna accept it if they want to, especially if it's one of the jobs over at the military bases. A lot of people will join those to go grab a jet. So as you see, I kicked him, and abracadabra, he pops up where that job starts and falls off. This brings us to number 3, which is don't roll first. So this is going to be in combat, whether it's pistols, assault rifles. Right here I'm using the machine pistol, which is pretty cool. It's got a nice sound to it, nice action. So don't roll first. I usually let my opponent start their roll, and then I do mine and pop up. It just seems like, I don't know, it just seems to work better that way. It's like, and especially if you do it in combination with one of my other underrated tips and tricks, which I'll be introducing shortly, it works very well. This one is going to be number 4, and this is spawn point manipulation / control. So I was in a lobby and I'm killing a random a little bit. I wanted him to spawn in behind me, so I'm looking ahead. I pass him up wherever I killed him, his blip with the X, and I passed him up, and he spawned in behind me. So that because that's where I wanted him to spawn in. This is kind of more hit and miss than a lot of the other ones, but it still does work, and it especially works if you're, say, sniping on one of the skyscrapers downtown. It works very well. Just turn your back to wherever it is you want them to spawn, and a lot of times they will spawn right there, and you can spawn trap them from a skyscraper, which is handy if you want to do that. So I killed this guy a little bit, and this clip actually includes number 4, spawn point manipulation control, and 5, which is kill yourself. You see, his friend tried to come and help him, and like an idiot, he drove right at me, which, I don't know, a lot of people do. It seems like so many people do it, and it's a terrible idea every time. He drove right at me, I killed him. Now I got 2 guys that I'm trying to battle, so I wanted that guy to spawn in behind me as well, and he did. I'm going to try to pick him off here, and as you can see, the cops are screwing with me, and they got me down to a little bit less than half health, and that sucks, because I got 2 guys on me. Now I'm in the red. I said, I had 1 shot basically to kill that guy, and since the cops had me down to the red, I really didn't want to give him the easy kill, so there we go. And that brings us to number 6, which is listen with your sniper. Tons of people know this, almost everybody does, but I think it's underrated because you can keep track of almost everything that's going on the map just with your sniper, especially if you're posted up on a skyscraper or other building. It's really handy because you can hear jets coming, you can hear people getting in and out of cars, you can hear firefights going on. If you're zoomed into the right spot, you got to be in the, pretty close, not just the general direction of wherever it is you're trying to monitor the sound, but it works well. Especially when the game launched, I did a lot of camping on this, actually specifically this building. This is my favorite sniping spot on the whole map. It's I've used it since the game launched, and it's fantastic. So I just had a buddy of mine demonstrate, that you can hear someone firing RPGs at you, getting in and out of cars, and then I had him fire an assault rifle at me a little bit, just so you can hear, what you can hear from the sniper scope. And this brings us to number 7, which is bail from your vehicle. I mean, everybody's run into this. You're getting chased by probably a faster car, and so you need to do some quick action. All you got to do is find a little spot to pull off, wait for him to come at you, and a lot of times they just drive right at you. This was my friend, and he was just giving an example, but that's very common, and I'm sure most of you have experienced that. But so this brings us to number 8, which is quick roll. Now the quick roll allows you to come up out of your combat roll much faster than you normally would, to give you an advantage Using this with the don't roll first or run and gun technique, it gives you a really good tactical advantage when you're firing, small arms, assault rifles, pistols, machine guns. So I could explain it a little bit. Basically, you want to be moving in a down and right diagonal on your left stick, and then you start your roll. You hesitate for just a split second, and then you jam your stick in a counterclockwise direction, and you're going to end up like dead left on your stick. So it's, basically like a 3/4 circle, but it's a little tricky. If you have a question, if you want to know, more in detail, go ahead and leave me a comment in the comment section, or you can add me. You can clearly see my gamer tag there if you want to know exactly how to do it. This brings us to number 9, which is don't spam respawn. And a lot of people, as you can see there, I hit the A button twice, and then I let it go. A lot of times, if you're in the middle of a battle, you're going to be you're going to be amped up, and you're going to want to get back in the action. But I find that it pays off to give yourself just a little bit more time, gather yourself, think about a tactic, and then go back in. So it pays off to just take your time when you die. And this brings us to number 10, which is the spam punch. This one's fun. This one's not as useful as the other ones because you're not going to be in a fist fight a lot of the time in GTA. But when you do get in a fist fight, I suggest going into third-person mode if you're in first-person mode, and you alternate the A and B buttons. It would be X and O on the PlayStation. You alternate those buttons, and you just got to find the right rhythm with those buttons. So as always, if you guys like the channel or the video, hit them like and subscribe buttons. I'll see you guys next time.